guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and this is B.fleye Beauty, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about some brands I've been wanting to try. Some of these you're gonna be like, how have you never tried that, Sarah? Like, this has been around forever. I get it, I totally understand you. I am an underbuyer. If you don't know what that means, pretty self-explanatory, but I used to listen to this podcast, the Happier podcast, and it's still great. I just get into these obsession times, so I'm just not obsessed with it right now, which means I don't listen to it. But they talk about there being different categories for different things, like you're a night owl or an early bird, and just knowing yourself enough to know how to be successful and productive in your day and to embrace what you already are and using that to your advantage. And you are either an underbuyer or an overbuyer. Like here's an example of how I am an underbuyer. I will see that we have, I don't know, half a bag of toilet paper rolls left. I'm like, oh no, we don't need it. I won't even buy it until I'm like the last couple squares left of the last roll. So if that gives you any insight to the kind of person I am, I don't just go out and buy heaps of makeup all the time. I would love for this to be like a money-making gig, but I don't review enough, I don't review enough products for that to be my main bread and butter. And I see so many beautiful things. I'm like, I don't need it. I will wait until I have this many things left and then I'll try that brand. So anyway, that's part of the reason I don't try these things. I'm like, well, I can make this look the same as that. And to some extent, that's a really good thing, right? It saves you money, helps you to combat consumerism and all the things. Do we really need 27 eyeshadow palettes? Probably not. Do I personally need 15 shades of red lipstick? Probably not. But we do what we do. So the top of the list is Laura Gellar. Now, I've seen her stuff in the stores. She's been around forever. She tends to, let me scoot over and I'll put some pictures up of some of the things I want to try from the brands. But she tends to market towards middle-aged and older at this point. I don't think that that's what her stuff is only for, or her products are only for. However, they have taken, I don't know if they even sell it in Ulta anymore, but I can't find it in store. And there is nowhere for me to touch and feel these things, and that's really important for me personally. Rarely do I buy something sight unseen online, especially if it's from a store that I can't just take it back to, like Ulta or Sephora, or even Walmart. Like Walmart takes this stuff back. So it's affordable. She always has sales, and she has, I do kind of want to try the powder foundation. I've heard that the range is not super good and tends to lean yellow, which is not for me, but I might still try it. The thing I really want to try are her blushes. These, just everybody raves about them. Like all sorts of skin types and ages rave about this. And it's been compared to the Hourglass blushes that I really love. And I love the Hourglass blushes. I'm realizing that baked stuff stays on my skin really well, with the exception of the Essence blush I just bought. Devastating because it's such a pretty color. But they look really nice on my skin and they tend to stay really long. What I'm wondering is how the Laura Gellar blushes will stay on my skin. Is it going to be comparable to Hourglass? Like the finish and the product might be similar, but is it going to have the wear time? That's what I'm worried about. However, her sales are so good. Like I'm not going to be spending $50 on a blush. Like I went online and I'll show you my cart here. Basically the eyeliners, I think they're like the Kajal eyeliners. Like she has a little set of them. Maybe an emerald, a blue, a black, something like that, maybe a brown in there. There's a little kit, like a starter kit with a foundation that I kind of want to try, and there's a ton of blushes I want to try. Like I'm so upset that I can't go touch them all because, and even that doesn't even do it justice, right? Like I touched the Essence blush and thought it was going to be great on me, and it was definitely different than what I thought it was going to be. Way more pigmented than expected. So I'm excited to try them because I can get them without spending like $1 million. My only concern is I can't touch it, but I'm very, very excited. Like that's going to be the first half of this year. I will definitely be trying those blushes at minimum. The second one on my list is something that I ran into at Ulta recently called Rabanne, and I believe it's a fashion brand. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that this has been with Ulta very long. It's definitely not been in store. I literally had a full body chill. I don't think that this line is for the everyday consumer. I really think it's actually geared more towards makeup artists or people that are way more bold and creative with their makeup. Not to say that everyday makeup is wrong. That's what I do for myself every day. But sometimes you just want to do something a little bit more fun. They have a mixer. Some other brands have had this before. I think Danessa Myricks has one, which we'll talk about her later. Is it B.fleye had this? It just looks more like an artist, whether it's stage or movie, makeup, photography. It just looks more like an artist line. They have little duo shadows. They have a metallic lip. They have a mixer. That's what I've been talking about. It's like a liquid mixer you can mix with powders, and it just makes everything like paint. They have paints, like little squeeze paints for all over the face. It just looks very creative and fun, and they have perfumes, just the packaging, the marketing. Hopefully I'm putting up pictures here, but it just really got me. I've not seen something like that in a long time. It is expensive. I am tempted to go play around with stuff, make a list of what I really want, and then go to their website and see if there's a sale or a coupon code, like for a first-time buyer or something like that, because I don't know that I would be able to try the few things that are in my mind for a long time because of the price, especially because it's more creative. I just know it's not going to be used daily, so it's hard to invest big money in something where you're not really going to get a lot of bang for your buck. Like, I don't have a problem spending $100 on something. Like, I spent over $100 on workout shoes. Well, that's something I use daily, so it makes sense. But if I'm going to use this, if I'm going to spend $50 on a lipstick that I'm going to use once a year, like, I just don't know if that's worth it. I'm exaggerating, clearly. It just got me excited to be creative again. So I'm definitely going to try something. I just don't know when. Let me know if you guys have tried anything from this brand or seen it in store. It's just stunning, just stunning. It kind of reminds me of Isamaya, which really should be on my list. We'll just add it right now. Isamaya. Really cool marketing. Really kind of creepy cool. Very expensive. The eyeshadow palette is on my list for sure. I think the second one's already come out and it might not even be in stock anymore, but like the packaging is just really, really cool. Off the beaten path, something you don't see every day. And I think it's a palette of shimmers only. I don't know. Obviously, I'll put it up here so you'll know if I'm wrong. But yeah, I guess Raban and Isamaya, they kind of have the same kind of feeling to me. Yeah. Okay. Sydney Grace. I think this has been on my list before. This is mostly for my kid. I am still doing makeup professionally. It's just pretty rare. But Sydney Grace, every single person that's been in the beauty space for a really long time or has been a professional artist, like working artist, has raved about these shadows. It's an indie brand. I would love to support that. And I need really good mattes in my kit, and they just look beautiful, and even the shimmers look lovely. So they did a collab, and I don't remember her name. She's a bridal makeup artist, and she did a collab with them, and that's the one I want because she's like, I base this off of the 3 looks that everybody asks for when I do a wedding, and she's literally spot on. So I was like, oh my gosh, to have this in a palette would be just the most lovely thing. And of course, like, I would take that palette only, and then, you know, somebody's gonna want blue. So I always bring like a backup of bright, colorful things. But it is so true that brides ask for a very similar thing right now. And she just put it all into one palette. So I thought that was lovely. And I don't know. I hear like it's great customer service. Like there's never anything bad about the company. And I'm not really big into eyeshadows still. Like I'm using them again, but that's not my bread and butter for me personally. So it would definitely be something for my kit. Let me know if you've tried anything from Sydney Grace, but it's a solid indie brand and I want to be supporting indie brands a little bit more. What's up? You guys playing? I've moved my office around and it's getting there. I'm like really feeling super creative because I have room to walk around. So super pumped for that. Okay, Merit. It's another one that everybody raves about. They're like, hello, why are you just now talking about this? So I do want to try the foundation stick. I don't wear foundation. So it's hard for me to try a lot of foundations because I feel like I'm not going to personally get any use out of them. But I know that if I bought a Merit foundation and I didn't like it, I could use it in my kit. So I'm not worried about that. I really want to try, the number one product I want to try other than that stick foundation is it's like a little, looks like a little toy, like a little Polly Pocket. It's got like the little dome blush and they came out with a new color of it called Rouge. It's red. It's flat out red and I want it so badly. That's probably above the foundation for me to try. So that is on my list. They just seem classy. They seem like they know what they have and it's really, really well done. And it's not a massive line, which I really appreciate. And I do think that quite a few professional artists use it as their go-to. Again, I can't really speak to it because I haven't used it. So please tell me if you use the Merit foundation, what you think about it. Because I definitely need to up my game on the foundations in my kit. And it's hard for me to think about all the time because I don't do professional makeup artist work weekly or even monthly at this point. So it's hard for me to keep my eye on stuff like that or even want to spend money on that. So it's just been on the back burner for me, but it's definitely another one that I want to try, mostly for my kit, except for that blush. That's for me, baby. Looks so beautiful. All right, we have two more. So these have probably been on my list before as well, and that's Makeup by Mario. He also has an eyeshadow palette I would love for my kit. It's very basic. It's all matte. And I think it would actually pair beautifully with the Sydney Grace one. I do really love using the mattes from Natasha Denona in my kit. I have some ABH in my kit and I actually have ColourPop in my kit. And I just want ease of use. So the only reason I haven't bought the Makeup by Mario one is there's mixed reviews on the eyeshadow palette and it is expensive. So it's not, again, that I don't want to invest money into good makeup. It's that I haven't used it and I don't know. What if I hate it? What if it doesn't work on a client in the, I don't know, lots of fears there. I've also heard his eyeliner is fantastic and he actually has a shimmer palette I would really love to try. And he also has one of those mixers with the powder shadow to make it more metallic and liquidy and paint-like. So I do think that his is also more geared toward makeup artists and pro artists. What is the other thing? I'm not really interested in his lipsticks, his blushes, his highlighters, because I'm not into like a super not a super sparkly, but a super like high shine highlighter anymore. Oh, the thing I was gonna say about the shimmer palette is it has a lot of really, really warm tones in it. So I haven't bought it yet. Like a very yellow gold, a very orange copper. And I'm like, how often am I really gonna use that on someone's eye? When I use a gold, because I mostly still just do weddings, it's like this subtle rose gold with a little sheerness to it. It's never full impact gold. Very few people ask for that. So I really still have to be smart, even if it is for my kit, when it comes to bang for your buck and ease of use and like, am I gonna use it, period? Like, am I going to use that gold and copper ever? Maybe once a year, is that worth that? I don't know. And then lastly, Danessa Myricks. So I do have one thing that I have tried by her, and I don't even think that they sell these anymore because I got this from Friends Beauty and I get a discount there. And this is the waterproof cushion color in Electric Sun. Of course, it's like a neon yellow. This is amazing. This stays like nothing else. What I really want to try from her are her complexion products. I definitely want some more paints, which I think is like kind of what... Sorry, Nudie. Oh, oops. Hi, sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. That eyeshadow just fell on Nudie's face. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me fix you. I'm sorry. Okay. I do want to try the paints, but she came out with 2 new like priming things. I don't use a primer. I don't even use it when I work like as a pro artist. Like I prep the skin with moisturizer and all of that, but I don't use a traditional primer. Like my moisturizer is my primer, unless someone is like ridiculously oily. So she has 2 new primers. One is like water, powder, serum, primer, anyway, like lots of words. It looks amazing. Amazing. And then she has a more moisturizing one that is not for me, clearly. I've never tried her foundation, any skin product. And then I heard her blushes are phenomenal. So I definitely want to do the primer. Definitely want to do a foundation, and then I definitely want to do a blush. Her cream blushes look really, 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 really nice. But yeah, those are the brands that have either been on my mind for years that I've never just jumped in and just did it. Or brand new brands, whether they're brand new really or brand new just to me, that I've never really... I don't know. I think that I'm just back to being creative and back to being into beauty and stuff. It's just more on my mind again. And it gets like this at the beginning of every year. So I'm not surprised. But I want to set aside little bits here and there to try these things so that you know, if you even come to me for these things, you know what looks good and what's worth the money. I am going to be 43. I have super oily skin. So not a lot stays on me. So it's going to be really cool to try some of these things. It's going to be cool to try some of these things in my kit. And it's okay to spend money. That's me telling myself it's okay to spend money. Not going to get it all at once though. So let me know down below if you have any of these brands, if you recommend any products from these brands, and if there's a brand that is on your mind to try this year that you've not tried. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.